Welcome back, guys. So in this lecture we will see about customized XPath and CSS. Okay, it's just one simple format which you need to remember to get the XPath of this any web element over a page. So basically XPath means the path to that specific element on the web page. Okay, so the name itself says starting from the top HTML tag, when you are giving an XPath, it should traverse and reach out to the specific tag in your HTML. So that path, whatever you are giving, is nothing but XPath. Okay, so you can form this XPath just by looking into your attributes of that specific element. Okay, so first thing you need to remember, whenever you spy on anything here, probably something like first name, this one. Okay, so input, let's try to understand what all these first. So before I give the syntax of anything, let me copy this entire. Can I copy this like this? Copy, I think inner HTML. Okay, so let me go back and paste it here. Oops, it did not paste. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, so now I just copied this entire line which belongs to email field attributes. So here, by seeing this HTML, what is input here? It's a tag name. Okay, if you know the HTML basics, I need not explain this lecture, but still the people who do not know HTML basics have to go through this. So this is tag name, so which starts from this symbol. Okay, and class equals to some value, name equals to some value. All these are the different parameters given to that input tag. So let's bring out each parameter and try to understand this left side value and right side value. So all the left side values of each assignment expression, maybe this one and this and this, all left side values are called attributes. Okay, now in this expression, class is an attribute, and the value of that class attribute is input text. Oops, sorry, input text. Similarly, now name is one of the attribute, and email is its value of name attribute. So this is how they are differentiated. Again, ID is attribute, email is the value of the ID attribute, and type is also one attribute, data test ID is also one attribute, and royal email is the value of this attribute. Okay, now we are clear and we know wherever we inspect and get the elements, by seeing that entire HTML of blue highlighted code, we can easily say what is tag name, what is attribute, and what is value of that attribute. Now comes XPath syntax. So XPath syntax is, if you want to write XPath for this particular email field, by looking at this, you can simply write it as / tag name. This is the syntax. Okay, @ attribute equals to value. This is the syntax of XPath for any given expression. Now, if you want to write XPath for this email, you have to write based upon this HTML code, right? Now let's form the XPath based upon above HTML code. / what is the tag name here? Input @ attribute. You can select any attribute out of it. There are 6 attributes, I guess, here. So it's up to you which attribute you select. So basically we select an attribute which is unique in its nature. Okay, if there is any attribute which is common to multiple fields, we don't select that. So which one you feel that is an unique here? Okay, the name itself is unique, ID is email, So it seems that all these three are, unique things. Okay, so in this case, I remember that earlier we were not able to click on login button because of its dynamic in nature for the ID given. So right now let's try to get the value of it. Okay, copy, we will write XPath for this login button. Okay, so / input at the rate, you see that input is the tag which is correct. Now I need to give attribute. Okay, so ID may vary, we are not sure, so let's leave this. Value login, I'm pretty sure that this attribute is unique because login is something text written on this button, right? You will not see any login here. Okay, so let's try to give this value attribute here, or you can also give type equals to submit. But I guess create account also has same type attribute called submit. Let's see, because even this is kind of submit, right? Yeah, you see, I told you, right? Even type attribute for create account is submit. So though you have given for this login, as it clicks on the first one, it clicks on the login button only, because when it scans from top left, the first thing it identifies is login but not create account. But still, let's go with unique one. So login is a unique one. What is the attribute here? This is the attribute. Okay, so / at the rate attribute equals to, as I said, value will be its login is value here. Okay, log in, that's all. This is your XPath. Okay, it's very simple, right? So now you copy this and paste it in your code, and let's check if it is correct XPath or not. How do you check? In the last lecture we have seen it, right? We need not put in code, run, and then realize that it's a failure XPath. It's very simple. Go to the console tab, and as it is XPath, you will give $x and quotes. You will close that, and inside it you will actually paste it. Okay, so sorry, it's double quotes, not single quote. Okay, now hit and enter. You see that when you move your mouse, login button is highlighted. So that means we have successfully written XPath for this login button using this syntax. That's so easy. So in the same way, let me write syntax for all the email and password. Okay, let's write syntax for everything using XPath. Email. So when you see email, and this is your HTML code, right? So in this case, let's take type attribute this time, because we are already seen about name and ID in the previous lectures, right? Even you can use type attribute to form an XPath. / what is the tag name for it? Input. Cool. Input at the rate, you have to give one attribute. Let's say attribute is type. Okay, type, data test ID, tab index, name, class ID. All these are attributes. It's up to you which attribute you select, but make sure you select unique one. Type equals to email. Okay, so now go and place this $x. Okay, move your mouse and you see that email is highlighted. Got it? I want to so this way you can say this is a unique. So let me do something else. Okay, now we will see password. Okay, so in the inspector tab itself, come to the bottom, or you can just open in console window. It's up to you. Even in the inspector at the bottom you have this to validate. So again, in my coming lectures I would be using tool called FirePath, and whatever validation I am writing here to check if it is correct or not, I'll be doing at this point. Okay, please don't confuse. Whenever I am doing this, you do in the bottom. Okay, hope you understand the difference of it. Alright, so email is given, login button is fine, and now so we have understood how to create XPath. Okay, now you can also put regular expressions and give subtext of it to get your XPath. For example, you can just say // either rather than tag name. You can skip giving tag name by giving star. So that means accept any tag name which have type attribute and the value of that type attribute is email. Wherever you find it, go and click on that object. So that is what the step says. And if I give input, and then it says accept only input tags. So in that input tags, find the type attribute which have email as the value. Okay, now if you are not sure about tag names, or if you feel that tag names keep on changing every time, you can simply give star so that it only looks for type attribute and email and skips tag name. Okay, so now password. So earlier we saw that browser itself is giving XPaths for us. Okay, let's see what browser is giving and what we are using, and what is the difference between these two. Let's try to understand. So earlier when you took XPath from the browser, it's like, you know, rocket science. We are not sure what it is. We simply copied here and validated. You see that? Now you will understand. This is the XPath given from the browser, but you see, by seeing this you will understand. Okay, // tag name. So browser feels that it is skipping the tag name by giving star, and browser picks ID as an attribute at the rate attribute and the value equals to pass. That's what browser did for us. Similar thing even we will do, right? Why to depend on browser tool? Then why, if we can form our own XPath? Even if you are asked to write an XPath, we will just say // using, just remember this syntax, that's all. I'll put it here. XPath syntax. Okay, so using this syntax, but rather than name attribute, so basically browser tool given an XPath for us based on ID attribute. Okay, so as I said, XPath can be formed by n number of ways. You should have that point here. Didn't I add that? XPath. Yes, XPath CSS can be defined in a number of ways. Okay, you might take any attribute to form XPath. When we took the XPath simply from browser by right clicking copy XPath, it took name as your attribute to form the XPath. Now I'll take the XPath this time as ID. Oh, it took ID, right? Let's take as a name. So same XPath I'll write //. If you want to put star or input, it's up to you, but better you put tag name at the right ID equals to pass. Yep. Now let's see if it is recognizing or not. $X. You see that password is highlighting here. Okay, so this way you should understand how to write your own XPath by saying the attributes and tag name, basically the HTML objects for that specific element. Alright, so in the next lecture let's continue more on this discussion.